Are you a 10 in your career? So lately I've been having so many amazing breakthroughs with the clients in my Accelerate Your Ambitions program who are working on their career goals, and just incredible synchronicities, things you would never expect to happen, things that previously seemed impossible, and then they've had some kind of a breakthrough and the impossible becomes possible, which is obviously super exciting for them and also for me and everyone else to really see concretely like what can happen in a short period of time. And on the other hand, I also talk to a lot of people who are like, well, Dahlia, I mean, my career is pretty fine. It's okay. It's even good. You know, I have a good salary and everyone tells me I'm pretty lucky to have this job. Like I'm thinking about my client, Laura, I had a while ago where people were telling her, you know, sometimes she was express a bit of her dissatisfaction with the role that she had, and people were like, well, but you're the most successful person I know, Laura. I mean, how can you be complaining? You know, of course you have an amazing job. And she was like, well, I guess, but you know, it felt like something was missing. And so there's a really key question to ask yourself on a regular basis, which is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about your career? Scale of 1 to 10. Because the truth is, most people are showing up as like a 6. Of course, I talk to people who are like a 1 or a 2, and they still keep going on like that as a 1 or a 2, which I really don't understand. Why would you remain at 1 or 2, right? But some people are a 2 or a 3, but they feel like, well, until I'm a rock bottom 0, I'm not going to make any change. So, you know, I talk to people like that as well. But, you know, the average person, the bulk of the population, is living their life as probably a 6, right? Maybe 7. And so they feel a bit like, well, it's okay. So why would I make a change? But deep down, they know something is missing. And I think the really key question for you is think about yourself, you as a person. Think, well, how do I want to live my life? Do I want to live my life as a 6? Or am I the kind of person who makes it a non-negotiable to live my life as a 10? You know, or at the very minimum, I mean, life is not perfect, obviously, but isn't it kind of sad to not even strive to be a 10? Like, not even have it as your goal, as your benchmark to be a 10. And you know, the sad thing is a lot of people have never in their lives experienced what being at a 10 feels like. So with my client Laura, for example, she at least had been lucky enough to have experienced a 10 before in her career. So what happened is that when she dropped to a level 6, she could feel it. She could feel the difference between what does it feel to be living at a 10, you know, excited to get up in the morning, feeling proud, feeling like, wow, this is my life. I get to wake up in the morning and go to this job and hang out with these amazing people and do this amazing work and make this amazing impact. Like, you know, that is a 10, and she knew what that felt like. So when she dropped in level, she could feel something was missing. A lot of people have very, very sadly never experienced what it's like to actually be excited to go to work. And so it can be very hard to even think that it's possible to be excited to go to work. You know, they've just been told their whole life, well, work isn't supposed to be fun. Like, you're supposed to live as a 6. That's just how it is. And if you're lucky, you might feel it like a 10 once a year when you go on holiday, and that's it. The rest of the year, you know, 360 days or whatever, you have to feel like a 6, or even less. And that is really sad. Like, they've never actually experienced what it's like to be at a level 10. So it's really important to check in with yourself periodically and ask yourself, at this stage in my life, how would I rate myself? How would I rate my feelings about my career? And when it starts to drop down, because if you're not growing and you're not doing your regular revisions and you're not systematically moving forward in your career, it's inevitably going to drop, because there's no such thing as the one dream job and once you get it, you know, you're going to be a 10 for the rest of your life. No, you need to keep evolving. You need to continue working the system that I teach in my program so that you maintain that growth and you keep moving forward. And so if you don't do that, you're going to drop. And then you need to be asking yourself that question and then asking yourself, okay, what would it take for me to be a 10 in my career? What would it take for me to actually be someone who's excited about my life and proud of my work and excited to share that with others? The kind of person who doesn't, when someone asks, well, what do you do? I don't have to hide and say, oh, I do something, whatever. Anyway, let's talk about, you know, the new coffee shop next door, and anything to avoid talking about what you do because you feel like it doesn't represent yourself, you know. What would it take for you to be the kind of person who's actually excited to share what you do and proud of it and lit up every single day when you go to work because it's something that you're passionate about and that actually fits in with your purpose? So really, really important question to be asking yourself. What kind of person are you? Are you the kind of person who strives to live as a 10, or are you happy to be a 6 like the vast majority of people? Because if you keep comparing yourself to average, you will be average. And don't bother, you know, being like, oh, well, it would be nice to earn more. It would be nice to get that amazing job. But, you know, if you keep comparing yourself to average, you keep being okay with average, you will get average. You'll stay exactly where you are right now. So if you need any help with this, any help with becoming a 10, finding clarity, finding your purpose and the right career path for you, feel free to get in touch with me. You can also start with my masterclass, which is all about the 4 keys to highly paid work that you love. I'll put the link below so that you can go through that class. It is free for now, and it's going to show you one of the main things it shows you are the things to avoid, all the landmines to avoid, which are going to keep you stuck in average, keep you stuck in that kind of mediocrity that we're all taught to accept in the workplace. And if you can at least start avoiding those things, that's already going to be a huge help. And then, of course, I'll explain what to do instead so that you can get yourself onto the right path and you can really start upgrading your career. So I hope that this was helpful, and I will talk to you soon.